Welcome, everyone, back to my train room. I'm Steve, and this is Combat Trains of World War II. On today's mission, we're going to be talking about Hitler's special train. That's right, Führer Sonderzug in German, if you can go with that. But anyway, we're going to give it an in-depth review of the locomotive and all its cars. So, with that, as always, strap on your backpack, don your helmet, and grab your weapon and follow me into our next mission. All right, and we're back on with the mission. First thing, as always, like we do, is our head count. So, Ryan, my engineer,
Here.
I'm here. Joe, give it a go, Joe. Alrighty, with that, I do have representation of the locomotive that I put together. It's not quite like the one that Hitler had, but it's pretty close. So I only have one locomotive where he had two, and one was always on idle and the other one was running. So in case of breakdowns, he always had a spare locomotive, believe it or not. That's the way they thought. So it was pretty ingenious. And I don't have 18 cars. His train, that's about what he usually had. And I'm only running about 8. So, of course, you'll see it's a lot smaller. Now, some of the other side notes that I want to tell you about the train and where it was and how it was it was always kept in a tunnel of some sort, either a mountain tunnel or a man-made tunnel that they would make out of reinforced concrete, and it would be as long as what the train would be. So it was always hidden from sight unless it was on the rails. So because of the Allied Air Force always on alert, of course, that's an easy target. So that's what they were made for. Also that accompanied him, there was a plane, his personal plane, and his personal Mercedes of car. So that was always along with him on the route, no matter where he went. And then another thing is wherever he was going to go, there were dummy trains that were similar to the ones that he had. So you could never know what locomotive or what train he was in. There would be it might be the second train or the first or the third or whatever. So it always kept people that were going to do harm could never understand what train it was. And they would also have sentries. They would be posted along the whole route, all the way from wherever it could be 100 miles. And there were sentries every so often. I don't know, every 100 yards or whatever, just to protect the rails. And Hitler wasn't the only one that had a train. Of course, Göring, his second in command, wanted one, so they made one for him. And Himmler, who was the head of the SS, he had to have a train. So I guess that was the thing to do. So they all had trains. And another side note, what's funny is Göring was and had model railroads of his own. I think it was like G-scale type of a layout. But it was in a documentary. So that's a little side note there. So with that, what we'll do is I'm going to give you a readout of the train itself and all about it. And my engineer here, Ryan, he's going to give you the shots of the video and the train running. So with that, stay tuned. The Führer Sonderzug was a special train used by Adolf Hitler for his travels across Germany and Europe. In 1937, Hitler ordered a special train to the Deutsche Reichsbahn, which he would use for his travels. After 2 years of conception, the train was all ready in August of 1939. It was first named Führer Sonderzug America and later named Brandenburg. During the war, the train served as a mobile headquarters up till the Balkans campaign. However, Hitler continued to travel on it throughout the war between Berlin, the Berghof, Munich, and other headquarters. The train was always followed by Hitler's Mercedes and plane. The train weighed 1,200 tons, and its maximum length could reach 430 meters. The train could travel at a speed between 80 to 120 kilometers per hour. The wagons were not armored. These were standard travel wagons that were adapted to the Führer's needs. For example, Hitler's private coach included a marble bathroom, which needed to be reinforced with a concrete lid. The wagons were built in the 1930s by 3 German companies. The interior was designed by a well-known Munich company in a simple Art Deco style. Each coach was equipped with heating system and air conditioning, which was quite rare at the time. The configuration of the train varied according to the needs and the number of people needed on board. 10 to 16 wagons and a length between 300 and 400 meters. The train could host more than 200 persons on board. The layout of the head wagons, however, never changed, as they included the defense and communication cars, as well as Hitler's personal wagon. The exact composition of the train is not known, but historical studies show that the following was most certainly accurate from front to rear. The train was equipped with 2 locomotives, allowing the convoy to function even in the case of a machine failure. However, when using steam engines, the locomotives had to be changed every 200 kilometers with a new one charged with coal. The Führer Funderzug could be powered by several types of locomotives, both with steam and electrical engines. For example, the steam BR-52 Kriegslock class KDL-1 war steam engine, which first appeared in 1942. At both sides of the train, or one in the front and one in the back, were the flak wagons, each equipped with 2 anti-air flak-varying 38 quadruple tube cannons, with the center space for crew and munitions, for defense against ground and air attacks. After the first flak wagon car, there was 1 baggage car. And then after the baggage car was Hitler's personal car, which included 2 bodyguards, a lounge, couches, a bedroom with a single bed, and a marble bathroom, 3 rooms for guests, a shower room, and 2 more bodyguards. After that, the next car was the command and communications car. Included a conference room and was equipped with all the contemporary ultra-modern communication devices. And telecommunication rooms with teleprinters and encryption devices, telephone exchange, and a radio room. These devices were not operational during travels. They had to be plugged in to different stations in order to work. However, a powerful 700-watt shortwave radio could be used everywhere while the train was moving. The next car was dedicated to Hitler's personal car, which could have up to 26 SS men. The next car was a dining car, and the next 2 cars were guest cars. 1 car was dedicated to bathrooms and haircut services. It was offered to Hitler by the Reichsbahn for his 50th birthday. This car is particularly heavy, 78 tons, due to the 5 bathrooms and marble showers. Then there was another dining car, and then 2 sleeping cars for personnel, and then a press car, which was dedicated to the German propaganda machine. Then another baggage car, and then at the end, the flak wagon. On September 3rd, 1939, America was used for the first time as a war headquarters and allowed Hitler to closely follow the Poland campaign with his staff. After the Poland campaign, Hitler went back to Berlin, where the train was stationed in a high security area of the airport. On May 7, 1945, after the death of Hitler, the SS decided to blow up and burn Hitler's personal wagon near Molinz. Britain and the United States shared the rest of the train after the war, which was used in occupied Germany. In the 1950s, the cars were given back to Germany. The wagons were separated and used until the 1980s. Some of the remaining cars are now stored in a museum. So there you have it, our representation of Adolf Hitler's train. Sort of like our president's now Air Force One. Okay, so from all of us here at Combat Trains, thanks for watching, and hope you subscribe. Until next time, carry on.